Hi, this is Thomas with Believe in the Run.
This is Megan with Believe in the Run.
And we're here with the Hoka Mach X3. And we got Carl behind the camera. So we'll get rolling.
Per usual.
Per usual.
So let's start by kind of reminiscing about version 2, which we were really big fans of.
I loved version 2.
With one caveat.
I didn't even have the caveat. So this was the problem for me. This shoe would have been in my top at the end of the year when we were doing our final shoes. I was lobbying for this one to be one of the best. I really, really enjoyed it. However, some people,
most people,
had a little problem.
Had issues with the heel counter here, and I mean, it rubbed a lot of people. It made a lot of people bleed.
Made a lot of people bleed?
Yeah, it wasn't great.
All right. What it was, it's not structured. It doesn't have much padding. It's got that kind of race day padding where you get the two little pillows on each side. And overall, the upper was more of a race day, I think, inspired design than we're going to go to now. So Hoka took the feedback. They said, everybody likes the midsole. Everybody likes what's going on. Let's fix the heel and change the upper, but let's leave the midsole the way it is.
Yeah.
And we'll get to that because I'm not sure that it is.
Yeah, so kind of as Thomas was talking about, version 2, the upper, it felt a lot more like a race day upper than a daily trainer. And so with version 3, you get more of that daily trainer, secure, more padding, and just
safety.
Yeah, generally more comfortable, I would say, upper.
They still kept this. They kind of have an interesting tongue that they're doing now because so many people who wear Hoka, especially on the road, are Ironman / triathletes. This tongue really is built to like grab and slide your foot in quickly and get it in there as fast as you can.
Yeah, I've heard some people complaining about it. I didn't have any issues.
The problem that people were finding was that it was buckling down a little bit, and it did go from being kind of a gusseted tongue to not having that gusset in there. So maybe that's part of the problem, but I didn't have any issues with it.
Yeah, I didn't have any issues, and I think the extra padding on the tongue is nice. And like I was saying, it kind of just feels more plush and more like a daily trainer versus more of that fast race-like shoe.
And I kind of feel like that took it's called the Mach, it's for speed, kind of took it out of the speed realm and moved it into maybe an up-tempo daily trainer feel.
Yeah, I did feel that these were true to size. There wasn't a ton of room in the forefoot, but it was just enough for my toes.
See, I loved it. So the fit actually was really great for me. True to size, no hot spots, a nice sleek feel to the upper. It just worked for me. The only thing, the way that they came down around the collar here was a little bit on the lower side. And then okay, I get it. We had to do the fix, but this one works for me. So this isn't it's not a plus for me.
You don't like the spoiler?
Nah, the elf nose.
Yeah. I think it was a great update in terms of the upper. They are calling this a warped knit.
Like the Warped Tour.
Yeah, which was nice and comfortable, and like we said, true to size and everything. So overall, I feel like the update to the upper is a win.
Carl, give me one band that was in the Warped Tour.
Newfound Glory.
Newfound Glory? Anybody, Meg? You got one?
Can't think of a single one.
Okay. Anyhow, let's get down to what I thought was a secret sauce in the last version, which now is just sauce.
Yeah, so let's kind of talk about it here. You have two dual density midsoles. So you've got a PIBA foam right beneath the foot, and then a P-Bax plate, followed by an EVA foam, which is a bit firmer and maybe gives it more of that speed race day feel.
Now, if you took out the plate, it's kind of the same formula that the Asics Super Blast has, where you have a nice cushy foam and then the EVA at the bottom to give it kind of that stability. It really works, especially with a more flexible plate. I'm a huge fan of these dual density foams because it gives you usually that nice soft bounce under your forefoot while still having not a mushy feel to the shoe.
Yeah, I agree very much. I think having this PIBA foam even just on step-in, you just have that softer feeling, which is just really nice. And then, like Thomas was saying, you do have that snappy ride from the P-Bax plate and that firmer EVA underneath of it.
Now here's where it gets really confusing to me because last year I loved the ride of the Mach X2. It just felt a little gooier, a little, I don't know, more flexible. And I was like, did they change anything? I put one of these on each foot, walked around the office, and I was like, this one feels a little softer. But what I actually think it is from like just holding it in my hand is you can see when I torque this one like this, is it torque or torque?
I don't know what you're doing.
When I twerk the shoe, flip it and reverse it, it still feels pretty flexible. But this one, not as much. Like, it does feel a little more rigid, a little less flexible. So I'm thinking that soft feel, that bounce that I liked out of this one, maybe there's something different with the density of the plate. It's a P-Bax plate. Maybe it's just a little thicker. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just this model. I did put like a lot of miles on this shoe. It's probably close to 100 miles, where this one I put in 25 miles so far. Maybe that plate will loosen up and soften up, but the problem was when I was out on my run make, it just felt kind of like flat. Like it didn't feel like that bounce, or I wasn't getting that squish that I liked in the last version. And while it didn't feel slow, it just felt kind of one tune.
I agree with the sentiment of it not feeling as great as last year. I don't know if there's actually any difference. I personally think they're the exact same. I think the difference is in all of the innovation that we've seen across all the brands over the past year. And it's kind of disappointing, feels harsh, but it's a little bit disappointing to get the exact same midsole that you had in a previous version of the shoe a year later, even though we really liked it at the time, just because we're seeing all these, like the Asics Sonic Blast is a perfect example of a super trainer that is very comparable to this shoe.
It's the same makeup.
Yeah, but it feels, in my opinion, much better.
We just got off that one. It has a nice bounce off the toe. The foam is good. The shoe feels light. Speaking of weight, this one comes in at 10.15 ounces or 288 grams for a size 10.5. What's yours, Meg?
Yeah, so mine is 7.9 ounces or 223 grams, which on its own is not super heavy, but if you compare it to the previous version, which was 6.2 ounces for my women's 7.5, that's over an ounce heavier.
And I'm thinking some of the competitors that we've been comparing this to, they are also lighter.
And another one that just comes to mind is the Mizuno Neo Vista 2, which is, it has that fun factor, which is kind of lacking for me in this shoe. It's a really solid shoe. It can definitely handle lots of miles. I think it'll be enjoyable as a daily trainer. It's just not the poppy, fun sensation I was hoping.
Yeah.
And I thought I was going to remember feeling.
I think the difference is even that little bit of weight changed the dynamic of the shoe. This one just felt a little softer, more flexible to me than this one does. So between those two things, it's a different shoe. We had John who reviewed it. He's one of our bigger runners. He loves this shoe, thought it was great. The durability's holding up for him. He just shreds shoes. And I'm not sure how much wear, or even if he did wear the X2, if this was his first experience, but he absolutely loves this shoe. I do think it's gonna change for people based on weight, based on a couple different factors that you're looking at in a shoe. I think it could be the perfect shoe for maybe a bigger runner, and you're gonna get that squish still because you're gonna be applying it, and maybe this plate is gonna bend a little more under that weight.
Yeah. Just a couple more specs while we're talking about it. The heel is 44, 4 foot's 39, so 5mm drop in the shoe, and it is available now for $190.
We didn't even talk about the traction. And what I was saying about John, he's one of our bigger runners and he shreds these up. You can read his review on the written review on believeintherun.com. But this rubber is tacky, it held up. Like, I'm actually surprised, even the areas where it has exposed foam, there's little wear on this at all. I know that 25 miles isn't crazy, but we do get in here sometimes with the exposed foam and see like abrasions and just shredding on it. This one's holding up really well. So that is something I think it has over some of the competitors that might sway someone.
Yeah, some longevity in this shoe for sure. All right, should we get into the scoring?
We should. I think in this one you're going to find Megan's a little bit more nitpicky than I am.
Harsh?
Harsh is the word.
Aggressive.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, so why don't you start off, Meg? What do you give it for form?
This is getting a 3 for me. The weight gain, obviously, gotta factor that in there. This shoe's okay looking. It's fine. It's not my favorite design in the world. I think it's fairly stable, but yeah, it's it doesn't feel like quite the upgrade I was hoping for.
All right, for me, overall, the shoe looks fine. I have no issues with the shoe. As a matter of fact, when I pull it out of the box, I was like, oh, this is nice. I didn't need, like, sometimes I don't like some of the colors Hoka comes out with. I even like the color of this one. I thought it was nice. Where I'm gonna ding it though, is it went from being something that I felt was a little more kind of like race ready and into something that's a little more tame. So I'm kind of dinging it for that. So I'm gonna give it a 4.
All right.
And they took out the gusseted tongue.
Well, that goes right into fit.
Well, yeah, I guess it does.
For our second category here, which I'm going to give a 4. I did think it fit really well, true to size. I will note that if you do have a wider foot, I think these come in wide, so I would definitely opt for the wide version because it is more of a narrow build, if anything. I think I'm going to knock it for, the tongue feels a little bit unfinished. But otherwise, I think the fit is great, so 4.
All right, we agree on 4 on this one. Areas I don't like. A little bit low on the ankle bone here. I thought it just kind of feels almost like, I didn't get heel lift, but it just felt like a little low there. And then, you know what? I'm gonna be an outlier. I like this heel counter better. So, thanks for the laugh. So I'm giving it a 4.
Incorrect. Okay, function is the last one, which I'm gonna give the Mach X3 a 3.
Why is it a 3 on function?
I think I'm knocking it primarily for the overall performance and the ride.
Okay.
They're the two things that I felt like I really liked in the 2 and just felt like there was lacking a bit in this version. And again, it goes back to that sentiment of, I think we've just had all of this innovation and we've seen new foams and new tech and fun, like brands pushing the boundaries at 55 millimeter stack heights and air in all of the places.
All the places.
So for that reason, it's going to get a 3 for me. It's just, it lacks that fun that I love.
I might be a softie here. I'm giving it a 4. I really think overall a lot of people are going to like the shoe just fine. I'm going to dock at that point for the ride and not feeling like I liked it before, but I still think it wins on versatility, durability, the outsole, stability, all those other things that we put in the function category. The shoe has. It's just really coming down. Like if I was gonna knock it down to a 3, it's because I just like this one better. And so I'm comparing it to this one and I'm comparing it to the new shoes that are out. Like if I just tried this shoe for the first time, it's not a bad shoe.
Do you have an emotional attachment to this shoe?
I'm still holding out for this one, but
Okay.
yeah, it's like, I still think it's a decent shoe.
All right, so that leaves the final score for me, a 10 out of 15.
And a 12 for me. And I think I could be a little tougher on the shoe if I wanted to be. And if we had, I think we could knock this down to a yellow. I think compared to some of the other shoes that are out, we might call it a yellow, but with the scores that we gave it, it's a solid green. And I think people are gonna like it. Definitely read the review because John on our team gives it a hard green. So he's really liking it, and maybe you'll fall into the areas that he loved the shoe. You will also find appealing.
Yeah, I think it goes back to this is a great, solid trainer. It's just not what I was hoping for, I think, and that's really where that harsh critique maybe comes from.
They let you down.
They let me down.
All right, so we got to make it up to the Warp Tour, so we should wrap this up. Meg, what do you want people to do?
So if you haven't yet, definitely go like this video, subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can find us pretty much everywhere on social media. Instagram's where you'll see the latest and greatest stuff for us. And then obviously, if you prefer your reviews in written form, you can go to our website, believeintherun.com, and they are all hosted there. And while you're there, if you want, you can subscribe to our newsletter, which comes out every Friday, called The Drop, and that recaps everything that we reviewed and talked about that week.
Yep. Or just check, did you already say check us out on Instagram?
I did.
All right, that's a fun spot.
I didn't talk about podcasts.
All right, you should.
Okay.
You want to say something?
I will talk about them. I figured you could.
Oh, go ahead.
We have 2 podcasts, The Drop and Fuel for the Soul, that come out every Friday and Tuesday, so check them out.
Yeah. Also check out the Dirt Division on Instagram. That is our trail-specific feed, and you can check that out and get off-road. Is that it for you?
That's it.
That's it for me.